What is yoga? Is it waking up early in the morning, going to a park and clapping really hard, scaring innocent pigeons away? Or is it doing a fancy asana at the edge of a cliff where more than survival, Instagram likes are at stake? Or is it much more? Yoga in English, Yog in Hindi and Yuj in Sanskrit has had different interpretations handed down over the centuries. One of these is to come together, to unite or form a connection. What is coming together though? In the context of asana practice, when your mind, body and breath unite to move you into or out of an asana, then that is yoga. But when you're performing downward facing dog while glancing at a hot girl beside you, then that is not yoga. Traditionally, yoga shalas were not meant for dating. Another interpretation of the word yoga is to tie the strands of the mind together or being able to restrain the modifications of the mind. If left unattended, the mind can be a moron. If you're hungry, it could go from ordering fried momos to realizing that it's a weekday, so steamed momos for me today, to what should I watch when the momos arrive? So when hungry, maybe cook, and while cooking, focus on the task at hand. In essence, yoga is the ability to sustain your concentration. Another interpretation of the word yoga is to be one with the divine. Now, who is the divine? Is it God? If yes, then which out of the 33 million Hindu gods should you choose to be your divine? Or can it be a non-Hindu god? You are free to choose any and you're free to choose none. The divine can be anything that brings you closer to understanding that there is a higher power, greater than you, that can dissolve the belief that you are the goat. Diljit Dosanjh might not agree, but this is how it is in yoga. When you live in harmony with that higher power, then that practice is yoga. Let us understand the concept of the divine. For a religious person, it could be God. If that belief makes him feel grounded and his religious practices makes him feel connected to God, then those practices will be yoga. What about a non-religious person? For a non-religious person, nature could be the divine. You are not above nature, that is common knowledge. The act of living peacefully and in harmony with nature, believing in the concept of dustbins and not mindlessly littering away, can be your yoga. Let's bring it all together. Don't you think all the definitions are saying something similar? It's like someone discovered a Golgappa. They loved the tanginess, the crunch it offered, and thought that this is something that should be made available to all the world. So their disciples went to Bombay, started calling it Pani Puri. Some went to Kolkata, started calling it Puchka. Some went to Meerut, started calling it Pani ke Patase. But eventually, isn't it all a Golgappa? In a similar way, the overarching concept of tying the strands of the mind together is a connection. Being one with the divine is also a connection. So in a really beautiful way, all these three definitions are connected and individually signify connection. So yoga might be different things for different people, but at the crux of it, it is a connection.